Hi, welcome to An Open Door, February 20th, 2026, the hour that we have entitled Sharing the Word. We are currently working with Resurrection, Paul Selleck. And John, if by any chance you don't have the book and you want one, just send me in your address and I will mail it to you. Okay? Just put it in the chat. I'll probably do it before the hour's up. As is our history, we start with a clip from the guides, and I have one that they just posted, and I'm going to share it. I think it's about 9 minutes. So let's do this thing.
To move to the upper room is to claim the self as you can only be known in truth, beyond the labels that you would utilize to confirm the idea of separation. I am a lonely man, a bitter woman, the one who feels chosen, the one who was never chosen, the one who cannot be seen. These aspects of self may have been instructors for you. You may have claimed valuable lessons through them, but you are now willing to move beyond them. And this is done in the upper room. The claim, I have come, I have come, I have come, is announced by the monad in the upper room. It is the seed of the divine, if you wish, breaking open and flower. It is the divine self as you, announcing its purview as in and through you. And the requirement of this claim, I have come, is to allow the divine to reclaim the aspects of self that have been hindered from expression, known in shadow, denied the light, those things that have been held in the individual closet, overstuffed with old pain or confusion or rage. The denial of the divine has been in most ways anointed. You should be outraged. You should be full of hate. You should hurt the one who hurts you back. And the old teachings of eyes for eyes and teeth for teeth, as you understand, were claimed prior to an idea of the resurrection of the divine. Now, the teaching of the monad or the Christ in resurrection is actually not a religious teaching, and the metaphors that have been claimed through that teaching must be understood as, in many ways, a confirmation of what we support you in. The Christ, as we teach it, is a principle. The principle in its alignment in the upper room reclaims what it encounters in, of, and with itself, because the divine self or the God within perceives and knows itself already in union, and it is in union with the God that expresses as in and with all things. Now, the claim that is made from the upper room, I have come, I have come, I have come, is followed by the claim, behold, I make all things new, which is indeed the divine self or monad claiming its expression as with and through you. Now, to understand the claim, behold, I make all things new, you must understand that the perception of the divine come as you is not operating in the denial of the divine because it cannot operate at that level. And when the divine comes as you and makes this claim, behold, I make all things new, it is the God within you that reclaims what it encounters in, of, and with the tone or experience or expression of the divine. Now understand, if you wish, what this means. It means that God, yes, sees, perceives, or knows, realizes God in all that it encounters. You understand the teaching of the one named Jesus, who saw the God in all and was able to heal or resurrect or transform matter. And the teachings, mostly allegory and mostly metaphor, hold truth. When one understands the action of the divine upon matter, because the divine realizes matter as the divine and can reclaim the material in the high octave of its own experience, you will understand that a miracle is simply the reseeing of something in its organic or innate divine state. To realize the divine where it has been denied, refuted, repressed, or oppressed must be understood as the action of Source come as you. When one claims, "Behold, I make all things new," upon an incident beyond a past event, one is claiming the action of the divine which moves or operates beyond the idea of time and space that you have been indoctrinated in. The divine self as you can indeed reclaim the idea of what occurred in the higher tone, as it can with what has not yet occurred. You have moved beyond the limitations of time and space in the claim, "I am free, I am free, I am free." And the monad, which is not bound by the clock or the calendar, is free to know itself in all things, because indeed it does. Now, the recognition that the monad brings, or the divine self brings, in the claim, "Behold, I make all things new," is not negating the thing that is seen. It is re-knowing the thing that is seen. It is reclaiming the thing at a level of essence. You must understand that the source of all matter is one thing, which can be claimed as God or Source or whatever you wish. The energy that is God is also the energy that claims the stones that you walk upon on the pavement, that lifts you to the heights and the stairways that you climb, that is the version of reality that you see through the window and the frame that you have held. To realize the divine, or to know the divine where the view has been hindered, suppressed, repressed, or distorted, is the action of the claim. Now, it is not Paul the man, it is not Alice the woman, it is not James the parent, it is not Jennifer the daughter who says these things. It is the universal seed of Source that is operating in all of them. This is the aspect of self that makes the claim, "Behold, I make all things new," and matter is indeed altered in that claim. Now, when we work with you at what you imagine is a distance, we are still confirming the vibrational tone through the decrees as they are invoked, yes, by us, but also by you. And as you invoke these claims, you are moving into alignment or energetic accord with the tone that they bring forth. And as you and others are beginning to intone at this level, you operate again as a chorus that makes these things available to all. Imagine one voice singing being heard by the few that surround her, and now imagine the many voices singing and the amplification of the intention and tone by the collective. Once the energetic field, or the common field that you know, is seeded with the higher potential, it becomes available. How we operate when we teach through Paul is indeed available at a level of tone to others who wish to partake in the frequency. While we do not speak through others in this instruction, we do indeed support others in their realization of the instruction. And because we do this for the students, we do this primarily to support you in granting permission to others to do the same. Imagine that the light that you are once visible is not become visible for yourself. It has become visible to all that you encounter. It shines upon all you see.
Thank you, Cindy. Patricia, and then Rana.
Yes, I was just wondering, prayer versus wishing. That's the title of all of these? Is that correct?
That's another video that they're advertising.
I see.
So
Okay.
you could probably go to the website and look at that prayer versus wishing and watch that one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Rana, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. That was great. I just wanted to share the a sense that I'm getting and see if it aligns with anybody else. When the desire comes for me to put my hand on my heart and say, God is, God is, God is, and maybe move into some of the claims that were just being spoken. That is the divine, that is the monad making that movement through me, and it just brings such gratitude to be living this experience. And just quickly, if I could share about Kylie's surgery, I did several times have that intuition to come up and just pause for a moment through the process. And I will tell you that this experience, we've been through it three times at least before. And this was one of peace. I knew that prior experiences were claimed in fear. I felt that. I felt the reclaiming, and I understood that it was beyond Rana, what was going on. And that's what I felt as being affirmed through that, what I just heard. It's like, Rana, if you think of coming to a gathering, if you think of putting your hand on your heart and pausing and saying God is for a moment, that's not you. That's consciousness. That's awareness. That is isness. That's the monad. And how exciting, you know? So that's just the feeling that's being emoted right now. And thank you for allowing me to share.
I love that you're reminding us of this, Rana. You've been reminding us of this pretty consistently. And it's great because it needs consistent reminding. A Course tells us the thoughts we think we think. And I can remember when I first read that, the thoughts I think, what does that mean? And that's Jean Klein's, the ego is the clown that gets on the stage after the performance and takes the bow. And isn't there so much freedom in, you would think that it's a lack of freedom, but it's actually so freeing to understand you're being moved. Mhm. Yeah. And so I think of Patricia with her movement that she's making now, which feels really scary because she doesn't really know, she's living in not knowing, but she's being moved. She's being moved. She just has to go along for the ride, do the best she can and go along for the ride. Right?
May I respond to that?
Mm.
Thank you for thinking of me. I appreciate it. Um, Fear says I have to do something. Going here to the monad or to the what isness says let go and surrender. It will resolve.
Yeah.
And it will resolve in love, not in desperation, not in anger. And that's a hard thing to do, to let go, especially, how do I pack up all this stuff? Do I pack up all this stuff? What do I do? What do I do? I don't know. And having to live and trust that's the big thing. Do I trust? Do I trust that God is really there for me? Are God and I really one? Can I trust that? So it's letting go into that question, it's living that question and allowing the answer to be revealed.
Yeah.
It's and I love being here because I feel so supported and I feel I'm with kindred spirits. It's gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. That's all I can say for all of you.
Well, right back to you. And I would ask that you stay with us because you are a way shower for us in this. Your journey is our journey as well. So
Thank you.
we want to know how this is unfolding for you because it's unfolding for everyone.
Thank you. Thank
you.
you for the invitation. I take it to heart. It brings tears to my eyes and to my soul. Thank you. And I love you all. And thank you for those of you who've been checking in with me. It is deeply appreciated.
Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you.
Shall we let Cindy talk?
Oh,
What do you
yeah.
say? Do you think she talks too much?
Oh, even if she does, so what?
You're up, Cindy. Take it away.
It's still here to read this quote from Divine Union. So even though we're reading Resurrection, I'm going to read it into the group. It's just one sentence. What will actually get you there is allowance and reception. To allow God to be God beyond any idea of God, and to receive that as if you are the transmitter for and of it. Can I read it again?
Yes.
And again, this is in the same part where the guides say, the well that is always full can be your name for God. What will actually get you there is allowance and reception. To allow God to be God beyond any idea of God, and to receive that as if you are the transmitter for and of it. And I put my hand up to read.
Okay, taking readers. So Cindy, who wants to read? Patricia.
And
Okay.
David's hand is up.
Dago. Okay, we'll start with Cindy, Patricia, and Dago, and I'm happy to read as well. So we're starting at the top of page 111, first paragraph, the issuance of this teaching. Take it away.
The issuance of this teaching, finally, is world peace. But you don't understand peace because you believe it to be the cessation of war. Now, War is a symptom of fear that has been systemized by cultures, by governments throughout time. And the mercenary acts committed in war, starving a people, even slaughtering a people, cannot be acts of God, but acts of the forgetting of God, the denial of God, and the refuting of God. And the claim God is in all ways, the realization of this claim in all ways, is the realization of peace where other things seem to be. Now, we say other things because the list is too long, and the denial of the divine has taken so many forms that you are so confused as to what is or must be God and what can never be. We will tell you what can never be of God. Hatred can never be of God because God cannot hate. And the love that is God can reclaim even hatred in the upper room by one who is embodied as love. To embody as love is to be love in transmission. And the acclamation to love that some of you will now undergo is an acclamation to a province that few have truly known. To become as love is to reside in the vibration of truth. All I have to share is yes.
Rana.
Oh, this is juicy, right? Starving a people, even slaughtering a people, fill in the blank, right? 10,000 things that are just seem like atrocities. Well, they're acts of the forgetting of God. And so for me to recognize that, not me, little me, that's not what I mean, to recognize that and then reclaim, ask for a higher thought, ask for a different way of seeing, all those things, right? Can contribute to a sense of peace. It doesn't mean those acts are going to necessarily go away because that's part of our collective. So many little fear thoughts all strung together, right? I mean, that's kind of what's happened. But now, as little individual lights and the recognition, oh, that's a spot where they forgot about God. No wonder they're acting in fear. Boy, there's a level of compassion and forgiveness there, and then it even leads back to the innocence. You just forgot. Some of us don't even know to begin with, some in the dream. So thank you.
Thank you, Rana. And it's all the monad, right? John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rona.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. And thanks, Rona, for that share. And I just want to add one little thing to that because it came right at the end, and where it says reside in the vibration of truth, and that was like for me that spoke as long as I can do that, all I'm doing is adding to my bank account of truth. Every time I come to a meeting like this, every time I read a book like this, those brain cells are getting activated. That's adding to my vibration of truth. And it speaks directly to what you said about your experience with your daughter yesterday or day before, whenever it was. It's the same Dolly, but just different dress. Adding to the bank account of truth. And so that's so beautiful to be reminded of that. The Yeah, and speaking of the denial of God, the forgetting of God is the denial of God when I want to jump to these other stories, So anyway, hatred is not of God, and that's fear, that's so beautiful too, and allowing and accepting uh, what Cindy was talking about, acceptance of God in all. God is, God is, God is. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
And by the way, I am here. I have come. I have come. I have come. Behold, I make all things new. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Need I say more? Right. Rana.
Okay, I just have one worldly experience of all things are new, if I may. Post-surgery, you never know how anesthesia is going to affect people or whatever. You know how you feel groggy, you don't feel yourself or whatever. So we were kind of having one of those moments yesterday. And Kylie's body gets very dystonic and moving, and she can't stop it, and she's sweating and all that, right? And so I made the claim. And what came out of my mouth, because she said, ignore my body. And I said, Kylie, I know who you are in truth. I know what you are in truth. And I love you for who you are. And I love your body for let's let your body do whatever it wants to do. What a transformation. I mean, I've shared with you guys before, something like that would have I would have been so disturbed. I mean, come on. And I'll just add this. She's in her chair right now in her grandmother's apartment. That's how good she feels. It was like a doctor's appointment. It makes me want to cry. And I know that I'm talking about the material, physical world, but to be able to walk through this dream in peace, and not react to everything all the time and just be a miserable, you know what, is just such freedom, And I know I didn't do it. I didn't do it. It's because I came here. That was it's because I keep coming here. Thank you.
Well, the one thing you did do is you put your hand on your heart. You did that. It was a creative act. That started the ball going. So, like, to take credit for that, that's the important thing to recognize.
Yes, my willingness met by grace is what it feels like. Just a little bit of willingness in it for even if it's a nanosecond, right? It shifts something.
What
It's a miracle.
what comes to me, and then Patricia, is how it must have made Kylie feel.
Mhm.
What freedom, what a warm bath
Oof.
in love. And that is the definition of extension. That's it. That is creation. That is the most truly creative act is extending love. And love heals, which is what basically you've just described. Thank you for that, Rana. Patricia's up next.
Yes, I just wanted to invite us all to put our hands on our heart and see how that feels
Mm.
and extend it to all of us. Mm.
And now move your hand down to your solar plexus
Mhm.
and just sink into that. It's so deeply satisfying.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you. Wow. Gosh, this meeting already feels like a miracle. William, good morning.
Good morning. I don't know if this is just my confusion or what, but in one sense, it's just that I get the sense that everything is happening. I'm being lived. We're all being lived. It's just happening this moment. We're all part of this oneness. And so the statement that God does not hate, well, God just is. And the hate is something that I take, that this mind creates the opposite of love, which is not really God either. So it's like a paradox and contradiction, all of that. And sometimes I feel like everything that happens, all I can do is just be aware, be aware, be aware. But what is, and so it's all part of the perfection of is. So I think I just have a hard time when I get into my thinking, because it doesn't make sense that God is hate, and yet it's perfect. So I'm saying two things. I'm thinking two things at once, same thing. One contradicts the other, or it's all perfect and there's no contradiction even. I'm trying to understand what I can't understand. So let go, let go. And I just think the two words accept and allow. And I thought, golly, when I see that, that's AA. Well, it's another way I've made up a little, whatever you call that. What does that do? Well, I didn't do it either. I don't get any credit. We none of us get credit. And I don't move my hand over the heart. It gets moved. And so I just see it's so easy when I just kind of surrender my thinking, my understanding, all of it. And so here my confusion. And I see what I love about this space. This space, there's no space here, but there is a space. And it's like I'm safe to say whatever comes through my mouth. And this is what's coming through my mouth. And I don't take credit for it. I don't understand it. I just share it. And it seems like, oh, that's what something is having me do. And I got one last thing I got. I think of Josephine, because certain things, when they hit, there's something happened. 2, 3, 4, but I don't remember. Maybe I don't even remember this correctly. But Josephine seemed to be turning some corners and having some new insight. At least that's what I made up about the Josephine in my head, because I thought, wow, wow, wow. And I sensed that coming for myself, and I saw it in her. Now, none of it means anything, but I just wanted to share that. So I say hi.
I agree with you, William. I think the Course advises that we understand God not through the thinking mind. So it's beyond mind. The only way I can understand what you described earlier is to consider that everything, the absolute Atman, can contain and hold within itself the idea that there is no Atman, or that there is an opposite to Atman. It can hold within it that idea. It doesn't make it true, but it can hold the idea within itself. So everything can hold the idea of nothing, but it still is everything. So the next person to read is Patricia, is that right? Okay. If we're ready to move on. Thank you, William. I agree with you with your observation about Josephine. I sense that as well. It's a sense. I'm so glad you're with us, Josephine. And Patricia, are you going to start from now? Thank you.
Gotta unmute, Patricia.
There you
Yeah.
go.
There we go. Thank you. Now, imagine you lived in a kingdom where a lie cannot exist. And even to perpetuate a lie could never be, because there's nothing to lie. There's nothing for the lie to hold. A lie can only hold when there are ears to receive it and senses to agree on to it, or a moral code born in agreement to fear that would support it. When you understand that a lie can only be told in fear, even a lie perpetuated upon a people, you will begin to understand that the divine self holds a capacity that a small self never could. The small self will condone a lie, perpetuate a lie, if it's more convenient to know the lie than to accept the truth. The divine self cannot align to a lie. It is impossible. So, as the divine self in a risen state, you are actually immune to a lie. It cannot hold you because there is nothing for it to be held by. The action of fear, to claim more fear, can only be perpetuated upon one who holds the vibration of fear in herself. It's pretty good. Because fear is the small self.
I love
To be acknowledged, fear is to be acknowledged in the small self. And as my Buddhist friends say, and to shine the light upon it. Thank you.
I love that little short phrase. It is more convenient to know the lie than to accept the truth. My life is about convenience until I'm not there. And then it's just observing the way things are.
I also appreciated the sentence, the divine self holds a capacity that the small self never could. Yeah. The divine self holds even the capacity to contain the idea of a lie. It doesn't align to it. It knows that the lie is not truth, but it holds the capacity for the idea of a lie. Right?
So it can hear the lie.
But
and
it cannot align to it.
It cannot be drawn into the lie or to believe it to be true.
Is that
But
true?
it can accept it.
Is that true, though? I mean, from A Course in Miracles perspective, isn't the teaching states that the quote unquote father, that's the verbiage of the Course, does not see the dream?
I get that. I get that. I think this is beyond the idea of the lie is just a thought. It is not reality. Fear does not exist. He says lies can only exist in fear, but Source has no fear. So it only exists in the dream. Maybe Richard could explain this to us. The dream is always the dream.
I'd like to add that using the term false belief instead of lie kind of helped me flush this paragraph out a little bit.
Thank you, Rana.
And I would like to add that all the words are not it. That it is the silence. It's almost like in my little mind, there are two things going on at all times. One is the truth, silence, and then we talk about it. And whether those are lies or truths or exaggerations, we have all kinds of ways of twisting words. And then I go silent, and it just is.
Thank you.
So sorry, I'm not on camera right now, but like the false belief that I needed to be afraid of Kylie's surgery, right, is from the small self. And so then in that moment of willingness, when I put my hand on my heart and started using God is and reclaiming it, I'm not the little me anymore. It's like brought the divine self into this whole situation, and the divine self is immune to the false belief that I have to be worried about this surgery. And so something gets transformed right there into love. And, I'm calm, and so is the whole situation. I don't know if that works for anyone.
Works for me, and because I see it, the vibration, and this is what he said, the vibration of fear was the last thing he said, and that does resonate with as long as we're in bodies, but it's a low frequency, so and it's the law of vibration, because this talked about it again, the law of vibration, 100% is God. Anything less than that yeah, sure, it's not true. But nonetheless, it's our experience is that it's true. So we don't want to be confusing dimensions of awareness until we're ready to do that. We're not that free yet. Or maybe some of us are, but like the guy said, I'm free. Yeah, I am free, but not quite yet. As long as I've got any stories running for me. So, and that's why, and that's the beauty of commentary. Listen to our stories, because we can claim them as not truth, and read the truth, and do that repeatedly until we overcome. I think it's the overcoming. It's not the killing of the ego; it's the overcoming of the ego. That's the big story here, because and he that overcometh will I give a white stone or whatever. But that's what all it is. Just overcoming the vibration of fear. And everything in the universe, from all matter to everything, is in a constant state of vibration. So it's one of the laws of the universe. And Hermes said, an understanding of the law of vibration leaves one with a scepter of power in your own hand. So that's it.
Thank you.
Every holy instant, there is freedom. I'm released from the fear. There's a rise in vibration there, all of that. So the more that this little self remembers, which it's not even me remembering, but it just becomes more of a flow, and it's more accessible. It builds.
Just because I know I'm home doesn't mean I'm there. You're
always there. You can't be anywhere else.
Who's the I that's saying that? See, I'm there's the knowing, but I spend the time talking about I and what I know and what I understand. And there's a difference.
Yeah.
I can point. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's just the chorus line, I am home dreaming of exile. I am home dreaming of exile.
I don't get that. Say more about that, please.
I am always in God, with God, as God, of God. I am always that. I can only dream that I'm not that because I can never not be that.
But it's the consciousness that can bring us back. It's that awareness. Oh, I'm thinking.
I'd like to
It's-
suggest the next paragraph points to
Okay.
this.
It's consciousness bringing itself back, but let's read. And Dago's going to read. If you would, thank you. Good discussion.
Could I, before we read, I just had a thought of a sentence that we are on a journey without distance from a place we never left.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Beautiful.
that's actually what I just also want to say is that um everything is God and everything is love. And no matter what's happening, it is all gone because there's nothing else. Even if I'm hating it, or even if whoever is experiencing whatever, it's perfect. And we don't need to understand it because everything is love and everything is God. There's nothing else. So I'll read now. It says, now you can imagine becoming fearless. I'm sorry. No, now you can't imagine becoming fearless. But in the fact, it is the Christ, the monad, the true self that is already expressing beyond fear. That is immutable and pure. The pure self knows. It has been said that Christ is without sin, was born without sin, and this is true. The Christ in each of you, or the monad or true self, is without sin because sin does not exist. As you might think of sin without fear and without fear as a basis. I'll read that again. The Christ in each of you, or the monad or true self, is without sin because sin does not exist. As you might think of sin without fear as a basis. Vanity itself, a form of fear. Greed itself, of a form of fear. Gluttony itself, a form of fear, which will all hold their deals in the basic premise of lack, that there cannot be enough, that there will not be enough, that there can never be enough. In the plenty that awaits you in the kingdom is present always. But you have been starving for truth because you have been dining upon lies. To transmit the truth, to reclaim another in truth from this place we have brought to you, is to know the truth of them when they deny it. Knowing is realization, and realization of the truth in any instant will surmount the lie and move the vibration of the lie, because it cannot be held at the level of vibration.
Hmm. Cindy.
Just looking because they're coming to pick up my car and two cars just pulled in. I just wanted to state, because this is my practice right now, is coming back to understanding that the one lie is simply what I now call I separate. I know we talk about we have a lot of different words, but the story that says that I am separate, dot, 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 I think they might be here, is the one and only lie. And if you bring everything back to, is the story I am considering right now coming from separation? I mean, basics of all of the guides' teachings state that fear, the denial of the divine, that says that there could be something somewhere here or out there that God is not, and fear, the denial of the divine, and separation are words that point to the same thing, and none of it is true. That's to me the one lie. And can I stand still when that lie is playing out? Allow it to play out. But what happens when I withdraw my believing attention from just anything that tastes of that? And so the other thing is, but you have been starving for truth because you have been dining upon lies. I don't have the exact quote, but I've been spending time with the Vasista Yoga. And there's a line in the Vasista Yoga that states, it's like the fool who is feasting on the fruit it sees in the mirror. And there's chills here. So that's what needed to be said. This understanding that it's what we're doing every time we believe something outside of me has to change to be okay. I think that's them. Hold on.
We'll see you in a little bit. William.
Well, what's making sense to me right now is that there are many lies, but there's only one truth. And that the realization or the knowing is realization and your realization of the truth. It is. And the moment I start sharing it, talking about it, communicating it, I'm no longer in that moment. I'm talking and thinking about that moment, about the truth. So it just seems like it's okay. That's part of the perfection of God too. But in the moment, there's only that moment. And the rest is just something that's being made up by thoughts and believing them. And so either I'm in the moment in that silence, or I'm making up stories about it, which is fine because it points me back. And the moment I stop and pause, I'm there again. I'm home.
Thank you, William. John.
Yes, so William, thank you, because you're talking about knowing stuff, and then bouncing back and forth. And it's really what the guy said about the starving for truth, and dining on lies. That's the bouncing back and forth all the time. And what I got from that is, again, this is in the third paragraph. It talks about vibration again, the vibration of the lie, and that's what keeps us down. So it is a moment to moment thing, and until I can say I know something. If I knew it, if I was certain of it, I wouldn't be bouncing around back and forth. Am I as sure that the sun's going to come up tomorrow? I'm pretty certain about that. Can I be certain about, that I can live, that everything is fine and hunky dory? There's only God and nothing else. No, I'm not sure, because my experience doesn't tell me that. My experience tells me that I'm a body, and that I do have these things that pop up for me. Dining on these lies, becoming aware of them and dealing with them inch by inch. So that was a huge thing for me. And it spoke to me also about polarity of wealth. The wealthy in proportion to what I can do without. And that's physically, mentally, and spiritually. Can I do without the lies? I'm a wealthy person. Can I do without all these thoughts that I'm a wealthy person? How much can I do without physically in my physical existence? What do I really need? That defines, my wealth or my poverty, my own thinking about it. So there's a lot in there, but it all comes back to vibration. Thank you.
Thank you, John. All right, I'm going to move to the next paragraph, if it's all right with everybody. Now, Paul interrupts. I can think of many lies I believe. I know they are not true, but I'm comforted by them. When I think of the body, how I would see it fixed. When I think of my relationships, what I wish they were, I understand that the basis may be in a lie. But how am I made new when I have investments in what you say can never be true? When we took you into the field and invited you to see all of your creations before you, inclusive of things you've created or inherited as creations, and announced the claim, God is, God is, God is. The rectification began. The sealing is done in the etheric. It is done in the energetic bodies. The manifestation of the claim in physical form you have taken is the last step in incarnation. So the true self, the purified self, the self who knows itself in truth, is already done, has always been done. The Christ within you has never been tainted by fear, because it cannot be tainted, nor can it be tempted, nor does it hold vanity or envy or greed. The divine, as who you are, in an articulated state, manifest fully, is congruence to love and to truth. There is no fear in love, and truth will not deny the divine. There's a little bit of a map in there. But first, Cindy, did you want to
The
say
book, I moved the book down and my hand went up.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't actively, consciously raise my hand.
The map, oh, Rana.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to take the words out of your mouth, but this is the sentence for me there. The manifestation of the claim in the physical form you have taken is the last step in incarnation. What this tells me is there's a whole lot of things going on in the unseen, and I wouldn't be here talking about this stuff if there hadn't been a whole lot of other things going on. So when the ego tells me you're not doing it right, you're not far along enough, blah, 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 all that stuff, those are all lies too. Because I am being carried. The little me is actually being carried through this in the dream. And the fact that we have arrived at the point where we're willing to say, God is, God is, God is, behold, I make all things new. I have come, I have come, I have come, is the end point. It's not the beginning point. It's actually the culmination of all of it. So I'm super excited. Thanks.
Yeah, I was going to say that the sealing is done in the etheric. I'm not exactly sure what that means. The like the final closing, the final step, the last piece of the puzzle is completed in the etheric. It's not completed in physical form. That's what I'm hearing. It's not completed in physical form. So as long as we're in physical form, we are still God's being drawn to itself, right? And so God, all that is, the well that is always full, that is still enjoying its experience of physical form through its manifestation of Amy and Rana and William and Cindy and everybody else. It's still enjoying that, right? And so that means that whatever is happening in front of me in the now is worth enjoying, even if it looks like pure crap to the personal self. That's what I got out of that. So Rana and then Cindy.
Yeah, just quickly, it was helpful for me to look up rectification. It's one of those words like, I think I know what that means, kind of thing. So it says, the act of correcting something or making something right. Correct implies taking action to remove errors. Rectify implies a more essential changing to make something just. So I
Thank you.
thought that was kind of neat, right? This is
Yeah.
all going on somewhere that I can see.
Yeah. It's all for our benefit, every bit of it. Cindy.
I didn't sleep a lot again last night, and there were moments where there were like a sore throat and different symptoms in the gut, and the thought arose, you're not feeling well, and then the thought followed, you're being redone. And there's a lot of teachings in the recent guides channelings that lead me to recognize that whatever is going on, it is changing the biology. Therefore, it's changing the form. So I am being aware of when I believe I know what this body is and what it's capable of. Even this belief that the body signifies the belief in separation. And somehow I'm just opening to the possibility that what I'm hearing from the guides is that humanity will continue to dance in form without separation. I don't know what that means. It's not part of our past, but somehow um, I'm just open to the potentiality that it is what they're talking about. So I do know that at 2:30 in the morning or whenever it was when the throat was sore and the stomach was upset, and history wanted to say I was getting sick, and the thought arose that no, I'm being reclaimed and redone, and something is changing. Those symptoms sort of went away. I don't have them now, so thank you for letting me say that out loud.
Thank you. Who's going to read next? We haven't probably have time to read at least another paragraph. Josephine, would you be willing to read?
Okay, where are we?
We're on Now Some of You Say on page
Okay.
113.
Now, some of you say, look at the atrocities committed by the church. Look at the terrorists who claim to act in the name of God. We will answer this very quickly. Any religion that damns another is not operating in truth. Any religion that condones the harm of another is not acting in truth. But all a religion is a structure to hold beliefs that may have been spoken in truth, but the walls built around them with their murals and parapets may have been corrupted by the fear of humanity that would seek to encase God in a temple, a church, or a mosque. God is in all places, and any place you know of as holy is your temple, your church, and your mosque.
I think this goes back to the sealing is done in the etheric, where it's just like I've been using that word a lot, etheric, kind of to just solidify this like connective tissue, this glue that is God. Because there's, yeah, and it's I think it's just a matter of, it is the agreement in the court of just harnessing it in order to to spread it.
So the etheric comes from a late Middle English or Old French word, and it means upper air. It means upper air. That's what etheric means. The
Yeah.
upper regions of air beyond the clouds. Yeah. So thank you for that. I think we all kind of get what that means, but it's nice to have more words.
To toss into that etheric, in metaphysics, it's etheric is the highest plane, astral is the middle plane, and corporeal is the physical plane. The corporeal, astral, etheric. That's the way that they speak of that in these words.
I like that, John, and that matches the non-dual teaching too, which uses the material world as they call it the gross world, which is pretty interesting. Yeah.
You know what?
Sorry, go ahead.
The best thing that I got out of that while I got the phone is the mosque and everything as being holy places. No, the holy places is where you feel you're holy, and I think this group is my holy place, and I'm sure you all feel the same way. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Isn't it interesting how a church can exist in on the non-physical plane? I mean, this is sort of a step in that direction.
Yeah, it's all imbuance with thought. It's prior agreement, and I think we have a lot more say in how we reflect and refract that. Attention, I guess.
What I got also out of it is that don't look for holiness in a church. That's only a building that encases your own beliefs. That look for holiness, I guess, it doesn't say it, but to me, look for holiness in love, in things outside of what is claimed to be holy. And that is so important in this day and age where we are looking for places to find our humanity and our love. And we run to the churches thinking that they are the holy place. We even look to teachers to tell us that we must do certain things in order to find love and holiness. But don't do that. Look for, I guess, I am now going beyond what is said. Look for holiness within ourselves, within the God that we are. So this was an important paragraph for me.
Thank you, Josephine. You read really well, and I don't know if this is what William was talking about, but I sense an eloquence in you that is expressing itself beautifully.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. William.
Well, what this comes to my mind is all is one, not two.
Hmm.
And
That's
Vida,
all is one, not two. And I live in the world of two, whether it's this church, that church, false beliefs, whatever, whatever, whatever. But it is all one. Just knowing that. And as soon as I want to share about it, I take myself out of the one. I'm using the means of making duality to communicate with. It's okay. It's perfect, but it's still just one truth.
Who is the I that's using the means, William?
See, that's when all is one, there's no I.
No. So it's the one that's moving you. It's the one that's moving itself, enjoying saying the words, enjoying sharing. It's the one that is taking joy in being and seeing itself in everything else that is itself, but that looks different. The unique expression of the one.
The unique expression of the one is the many, the one and the many.
Yes. Yes.
I plead ignorance.
It's all beautiful. Oh. Okay, the next paragraph is a fairly long one. We can start it or we could start on it next week. What do you say?
Next week.
Okay. Next week we'll start at the bottom of page 113. The gift here is true freedom. This has been a great meeting.
Yeah. My response was duality.
All righty. I'm going to stop the recording. I love us. Really do.
Love us too. Thank you. I have